Hi, this is Krista at The Secret Yarnery. Welcome to our crochet vlog, episode 15. Lots of fun things today. Today is the official going through the box of fails. Looking forward to that. Haven't seen that stuff in so long. Anyway, I'm sure that'll be encouraging for all of you. It's pretty bad. Okay. Just so you know the layout a little bit, what we're doing, we have a little bit of a crochet talk, and then we kind of digress into general ramblings and probably some little bits about Kenya, of which I don't know what I'm going to be talking about today. But it'll come up. So we start with finished objects, and then whips, and then acquisitions. And then once that's kind of finished, that's pretty much it for crochet, if you're only into the crochet part. After that, we kind of go into the other things, just so you kind of know what you're looking for. Excuse me. We also put in some sort of question. It'll come to me also before the end of the vlog. So let's get started. Finished objects. Obviously, Rwanda poncho. So this was super tricky. You know how many times I started it and what yarn I'm going to use. I think I started like 4 or 5 different Rwanda ponchos. So it's basically just that, like my gray one, but kid size and just out of regular yarn. Someone asked what it would look like with regular yarn. So this is what it looks like. I used a 9mm hook. I might, if I was doing it again, use a 10 or a 12 even, just to get it a bit even lacier than that. But it's up to you. I still like it. This was with a 9mm and regular craft yarn, like Super Saver or whatever you have laying around the house. So I did the 3 colors, and I really like it. So there's a tutorial on this one. It's the same as my gray one, which I won't show you again, but it's sitting right there because I wore it yesterday, as I always do. It's just with different yarn, and it's a different size. Totally adjustable, super great. So happy to have that one done. I like it, my kids like it. So that's cute. Liking it. Other finished object, oh, that looks like I still have to sew in an end, is this market tote, French market bag, something like that. But it's just the mesh bottom. So you basically make a mesh square, treble crochet, chain 3, skip 3, treble crochet into a square, and then super gather up 2 sides and half gather up the other 2 sides. So 2 sides are super gathered and 2 sides are kind of relaxed. And single crochet a bunch of times for the handles. I like it. It's cute. I haven't used it yet. I just finished it. Doing the bottom was a bit tedious, in my opinion. Like, just not that much fun. But now that I've finished it, I like it. And I really like the yarn. It's mercerized cotton, self-striping. Excuse me. This one, which is there. You can probably see it. It has a yellow dot on it. So I really like that. I really like this. I think it turned out so cute. And it feels great. Anyway, haven't used it. Oh, but it matches my dress. That's classy. All right, so finished object. Then, move this away too, sorry. This one, I thought I'd show you my big polka dot blanket. And by big, I mean big. It drapes on a queen size, so I don't even think I can unfold it, but that's like a quarter of it, and then another quarter of it, and a quarter of it, and a quarter of it. So it's really big. I like the border a lot. So it's all the nice colors, and this is just regular acrylic also, but all the colors, and I think I did a row of single crochet, and then double crochet, chain one, skip a stitch for the different colors on the edge. I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. It's really heavy. It's really big. So this is good for winter. Like I put it on top of my duvet in the winter because it just gives you that weight on your bed that's like so cozy. But I'm not doing circle to squares. You'll notice on my Instagram and everything, you don't see much of this circle to square action anymore. I'm almost over it. I made it about 1.5 years ago, I guess. It didn't take that long, to be honest, because the joining took like 3 days. The joining was a long time. But making the circles, like you can kind of piece it up into chunks and it wasn't so bad. But I'm not into circles to squares anymore. I was like so into it and now I'm like, I'm a bit over it. Okay, so that's finished objects. Whips. Is that backwards? No, just got an end. There we go. Thought I did all my ends. I guess not. So, what do you call these things? Like linking flowers. I made them out of cotton. Started with these 3 on this side. The blue and the purple and the tealy kind of green. And then I was like, oh, I should just do the centers like all in one color. So I thought I'll do them all in like a natural cotton, just so it has a bit of continuity. So it's not just like a mumbo jumbo, like anything goes. So same centers, and then you join as you go when you make these petal rounds, which are just clusters with a chain 6 in between, basically. Kind of the same as the wildflower idea. So I think I'm making a shawl. I'm going to see if I can make a shawl before our next out and about, which is March 3rd. We're meeting in a coffee shop nearby. A new coffee shop, supposed to be pretty cool. I don't know. Well, the place is cool. I've heard they don't have their I heard they just get their baked goods from like the bakery down literally like a few stores down. So that's kind of weird, but the coffee's supposed to be good. The place is good. Atmosphere is good. We'll go check it out. Hoping to have this done before then, if I don't get distracted. Anyway, working on that. Acquisitions. I have a yarn order coming. Is it bad if I say only 20 kilos? Right? I mean, I usually order a lot more. Like, I find it so like, oh, it's only 20 kilos. Like, nothing. But 20 kilos is still a lot, right? Anyway, it's mostly for me. I have some bamboo coming for one of our students, which would be great. And a really nice kind of like goldy, mustardy kind of color. And, oh, I have baby cotton coming in baby colors, but not pink and not blue. You know, I don't know, like I'm like, oh, this is good for girls and that's good for boys. But what I need to think, like when I'm stocking these shelves, is gender non-specific. You know, like just because you're having a baby boy or a baby girl, do you really need the pink or the blue? Lots of times, you know, it's like, I don't know. So I think I got like a coral, I got like a really nice green, really nice yellow, really nice, like just garden kind of baby colors. Pastel colors, not baby colors. Excited about that. I also got some sort of shine something. I don't know, it's a bit metallic-y. Ooh, and like jewel tones. And for like a 4 or 5 millimeter hook. So like so excited about that. Haven't seen it before, but love the colors so much. I'm like, I don't even care what it feels like. I need the colors, which is why I decided I'm waiting to make my blue and green one, its partner, or its opposite or whatever, nemesis, until I get all those crazy colors. Because how good would that be? I can totally mix up, like not just acrylic and chenille, but you could have like shiny and, you know, textured metallic-ies, all sorts of crazy colors and all these crazy jewel tones that are coming. So super excited about that. Asked for it to be delivered today, so hopefully it does. So, where was I at? Okay, so that's what I'm working on. I started this last night, just to try it. I wanted to try it so bad, to like see how those flowers connect, and I'm super happy with it. I've tried a bunch of different ways of doing it, but I think I'm doing it the same way, like the join as you go, where you go into both, like you go into the opposite corner. Well, you go into slip stitch into both corners. If you have a choice of two corners, go into both. It makes it nice and strong. And I tried a bunch of ways, but anyway, this is the one. That's the join that I like. Don't know if you can see it. I'll try to block it. That's the join I like. I slip stitch into both. The other ones, I don't know, it looks kind of weak. That's the back side. But you can see how it looks kind of fail. So working on that, figuring that one out, love it. So that is our acquisitions. Now on to our thank yous and our hellos. So if you're new to this vlog, thanks so much for stopping by. Thanks for checking in. Feel free to introduce yourself in the comments below. Generally, over the course of the past 14 vlogs, lots of you have introduced yourself and we've kind of got connected. I know a little bit about you. You obviously know a little bit about me, which is really cool. So every week I kind of keep a list of people who have gone out of their way to comment and connect. So I just like to acknowledge that and say thank you for doing that and say hi, because it's not like we can pick up the phone. You know, it's still like it seems like a one-way channel. So it's good if you can talk back. I really like that, although I don't let my kids hear that. Can you imagine? And I'd like you to talk back. No, I don't. You, I do. Not my kids. Okay, so I'd like to thank, in particular, Wilson. Thank you so much. All your comments are so nice. It really, it cheers me up so much. Not that I need cheering up, but maybe it inspires or motivates. Because sometimes you think you're just bloody crazy. You know what I mean? Why did you even start this? Why are you doing that? Which I'll tell you after the thank yous. Let me do my thank yous. Okay. So I'm thanking Wilson. I'd like to thank Lynn. Love you to bits. Carrie. I know. Love it. Denise. You can do it. Keep trying. Don't give up. It will just happen one day. And don't stress out too much and just don't look at it too much. Just, go blindly. And eventually you'll be like, oh, look, I did it. Deborah, thank you. Sina, I might be spelling that wrong. Not spelling, seeing it wrong. Cosetta, oh, thank you. C. Johnson, I feel bad saying C. Johnson, but that's your YouTube username. Kathy, thank you. Halima, love you to bits. Awesome, thank you. V. Snyder, same thing, that's her YouTube username or his. Mary, we have to talk about Mary. And Amanda, thank you, Amanda. I really appreciate that. Okay, so Mary. Mary is comment of the week because she says that she hasn't crocheted in 20 years and we have inspired her to pick up her hook again. Isn't that amazing? I think that's so great. So 20 years, hasn't crocheted, picks up her hook. What's her 2 projects? Temperature blanket and tulip stitch blanket. Can you imagine? Those are massive projects. That's not a small thing. Those are 2 big projects. She's super back on the wheel. She's, in the game. She's hooking. It's awesome. So glad you're back. I hope you find all the peace and joy that the rest of us find with crochet. So that's my thank yous for the week. So thank you, everybody. If I haven't mentioned you, sorry, I just kind of go through and try to just pick some comments from the last week. Okay, thank you. Okay, so that's that. Now, this vlog, not even the vlog, the whole channel in general, how did it start? I was teaching crochet classes. Well, let me back up before that. I was doing, I had an orphanage for newborns. So it was high stress, high investment, it was a lot of effort, work, stress. It was a lot of everything. And we got lots of phone calls from women, people on Facebook, random people, asking if we can take their baby, if we can help them with adopting their baby, finding a family for their baby, all these things. And I've always said this is the government procedures, go to this is how you do it, you contact this agency, da 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 da, da how to do it. And over the course of about 2 years, kind of looked back and talked to these women, and none of them had gotten help. None of them. So I was like, but it's so easy, like those are the rules, that's how you do it. So turns out it's not that easy. Yes, that's the rules, but nobody actually helps you that's supposed to help you. And adoption's really frowned upon, like you're selling babies, you're buying babies. I'm a total adoption advocate. Oh, I think my kids are coming in. It's midterm break, so they're home today, and I think my 11-year-old just punked the rest of them. Yeah, it sounds like it. Okay, so he's big into the pranks. Anyway, so and I totally think adoption's great. If everybody did adopt a baby, it would just help the world a million times over. So, get another phone call on a Saturday morning saying, from a government agency saying, there's this lady, she has a baby, she wants to give it up for adoption, you can help her. If you want to, you don't have to, if you don't want to, because it wasn't in our same district. And I was like, we had 20 babies at the time. I'm like, absolutely no, like, we're maxed out, no more babies. Just like as a financial thing. Like, it's a lot of formula, it's a lot of diapers, it's a lot of everything. So I was like, my automatic reaction was like, no. And then he was like, okay, my social worker was like, okay, no problem, we'll do something else. And I was like, okay. And then I felt bad. I'm like, she's actually asking for help. So she'd just given birth, wanted to give up her baby for adoption, had to go back to work, and the government was not helping her. They said she hadn't hurt her baby, she hadn't abandoned her baby, so her baby's not adoptable. Long and short. I was like, kind of like, not my problem. Then I was like, she's trying to do the right thing. Like, what is she supposed to do? Hurt her baby, abandon her baby, or not? Like, what's she supposed to do? So I sent my social worker to go and meet her, make sure she's not like loony. And super sweet girl, so brought her into the orphanage, helped her raise her baby, and I'm like, what can I do? What can I teach her? Because I sew and I do all these other crafty things, but I don't want her wrecking my sewing machines. I don't want her wrecking fabric. Like, I was like, what if I got yarn? If she wrecks it, you just undo it. Like, how much of an investment is crochet? It's like $2. And then at least she has a skill, and you can breastfeed and crochet, and that would work out. So I started doing that, and I was doing one of these events, just to get awareness to the orphanage, in 3 weeks. One of these tent bazaar, it's a BizBaz, the same one I did, but it was the first time I did it. So I was gonna go and do that, and I was like, let me just switch over, because I had all these things I had stitched, like sewing, and I was like, let me just switch totally to yarn, and we'll just, because nobody does yarn, and lots of people do stitching here, or sewing. So I'm like, let's do that. So I ended up repackaging yarn, and she didn't make anything worth, like quality-wise. She wasn't, nothing, I couldn't sell anything. But ended up, all these people came by, and they were like, oh, crochet, can you teach me? And I was like, well, I could, but like, you're joking, right? Anyway, made up a sign-up sheet for the second day, and literally like 30 or 40 people signed up. And I was like, they're just being polite. You go to these tents and you're like, oh, sign up, and people sign up. They're not serious. Turns out, serious. Like, literally, dear friend of mine now, but she called me and she's like, when are crochet classes starting? Da, da, da. I'm like, I don't know, like, when do you want to start? Like, it's only going to be you and me. Anyway, picked a date, put out an email, picked a coffee shop, still assuming people are crazy. And no one's showing up. And we had like 18 or 19 ladies. Like, I couldn't actually even teach that many people. We took over the entire coffee shop. I was like, oh. So, and I'm like, okay, we'll do like twice a month. Then that turned into once a week. Then that turned into twice a week. Some people are for the weekend, some people on weekdays, depending on your lifestyle. Like, your husband works, you work, blah, blah. So then I was teaching crochet classes twice a week. And some ladies, maybe I was only teaching once a week then, but what I found is some of my students, because we only had a couple hours and there's so many of the people, they would come to class and then not know, like, they come to class and learn something, and then they would come back the next week and they would be like, oh, what were we doing last week? Like, teach me that again. And I was like, no, like obviously I did teach them. I didn't say no, but I wanted them to progress. But then they're like, oh, but I forgot. Like, I was here and I knew how to do it, and I went home and I lost it. So I was like, oh, wouldn't it be great if, like, maybe there's a video. So like whatever class we're teaching, there's a video, so they can go home, watch the video, and then at least progress during the week and come back and we can start something new or do, like, move on to the next step, opposed to always doing the same thing. So that was my very first video, filmed by one of my students at the coffee shop. I think I called it color changing, but it was color changing for a very specific project, the ice cream blanket. And that's how it started, just keeping up with my students, which is great, right? And now look, like, I think it's so fantastic, like what it's morphed into, which I think is great. So let me check my battery and we'll start with fails. Okay, glasses time. Now this box is in no particular order. It's probably opposite order. So I'm just gonna start at the top. This, actually it's not a fail, it worked out, is a phone case, no, like an iPad cover case thingy. It actually fits a Kindle. So that is that one. Oh, I tried to make snowflakes one year for Christmas decorations or something. They worked out, but too big and too much work. Oh, triangles. This must have been bunting of some sort. Not into it. Oh, these ones, mandala issues. Obviously, that's a fail. That's like not even flat by a lot. This is attempt number 2. It's a bit better, but still not that great. Then I think it started working after that. That's the end of my fails. This, not totally a fail, although, what is it? I think it's a double crochet scarf. But my chains on the end, my chain 3 is so big, it gave an actual textured edging unintentionally. So, and who needs a little scarf like that? But it was just a project in the beginning of lessons. Learn your stitches. This one I like. Actually, I do. There should be 2 of these. Oh, there is. So this one, Sunburst Granny Square pillow cover case thingy. I made 2. So I made it into a pillow, and I folded up like a pillow from my bed. What was wrong? I didn't have my transformer for my sewing machines blew up, so I couldn't use my sewing machines. So I just folded up like a pillow like a flat pillow from the bed and put it inside, but it was like hard and gross and yucky. So, and then I undid it because I was like, this is technically 2 pillows. Like, just do boring backs for them and have 2 pillows, because you don't need a fancy back on a pillow. So I have those 2, but haven't done anything with them. Oh, and I joined them like with a flat braid join. Don't know if you can see, but I like the join. It's cute. Where am I dumping these things? What's this? Oh, Daisy Granny Square. Opposite, I made another that bright blanket. There's a video about it actually. The Daisy Granny Square joining and Daisy Granny Square 2.0 is the blue and green version. And I was like, oh, I loved it so much. I'm like, let me make a pink one. So I think I did like 2 of these. I think that's as far as I got. I was like, never mind. Next project. Did lunar shawls. Oh, we call them lunar. Everybody else calls them virus. But who wants to make a virus shawl? That's kind of a gross name. So we call it lunar, like moons. So I made this one. And then sold the yarn. So it's not big enough for anything, but it's a fail. And I also made this little sample of the lunar shawl just so my students could see the repetition. So the blue row always repeats, and the green row is the same, and the hot pink row is the same, and the orange is the same. So you can kind of see visually that it's the same. Well, that's what I was thinking anyway. So I did that for class, and my students figured it out without this. But anyway, I thought it might help them. This one, I was working on an endless flower design. Found this pattern, thought it was great, but then it doesn't stitch onto anything. Like everything just turns, like it's just holes in the back. So I had to redo the pattern completely. It even looks nice from the back. So this is a fail. I could stitch it onto something or something, but I made a better one. I made a way better one. So I'll show you that. I have to climb up. It's on top of my shelf, so I'll show you that another time. Remind me. Let me put this separate. I'll show you that. Oh, yes. So one of our first lessons, coasters and a table runner, just single crochet with a border. Not feeling it. Don't need it. Just to practice your stitches over it. Another scarf. I think this is half double. Just to practice stitches. Part of a lesson. Boring. Don't start teaching people with scarves. Way too big of a project. Way too boring. But did it anyway. Oh, yeah. This is from my Daisy Granny Square blanket. I did 4 small ones and hooked them together and then put a big one. So I'll show you that another time too, actually. Anyway, this one I did the wrong size, like completely. Or the wrong number of rows or something. I did something wrong with it. But I'll put that on the other pile so I can show you how bad it really was on another vlog. These ones, which way do they go? I think that way. I was going to make a granny square tree skirt. So skinnier at the top, fatter at the bottom, sew them, together to go around your Christmas tree at the bottom. Blah. I think I did like 4 squares over it. Next project. Oh, this is awesome. One of my first granny squares. Obviously increased too much in the corners by a lot. No hope of it ever being flat. It is like so many stitches too many. Yeah, super fail. Don't do that. A swatch, I don't even know what that's for. Bunch of granny squares joining the way I don't join anymore. See how it's joined like just the average way you just chain up, but then you can always see that chain up? I don't like it. And I don't do it like that anymore. So there's a ton of granny squares in here. Oh, this is great also. Granny square rectangle, backwards. I don't know what I was doing with it. Something. But then I decided I hated it. Don't like the colors. Don't even know what I was doing. I think I was going to be making a poncho or something, like a rectangle, and then putting it together like the Stripy V Poncho, but out of a granny square rectangle. Anyway, guessed the whole way through, stopped. But did learn the technique of making a granny square rectangle, so I guess that's good. Gosh, another scarf. This one's my daughter's. She made this one in her favorite color when she was 7, I think. One of her first ones. You can see I think you can see when I helped her. I think even my house girl helped her a bit. But that's actually just really ugly. Oh, these are good. do they call it? Miter squared granny squares? Daisy square, miter, daisy square, something. Did a bunch of those actually. Trying to see, that's a regular one. Oh, look how many I did. Maybe I was working on colors. Yeah, I think I was trying to find a yellow for the center. Look at all the crazy back in the day. Daisy granny squares. Oh, a ball stuffed. Probably trying to make an ornament. Ugh, that one's a really fail. Oh, the beginning of I was trying to figure out hug shrug. Oh, that's so cute. I did my chain too tight, can't even stretch it. So cute. And I couldn't join either. Look, my join's all a big hot mess. That's cute. Granny squares for days in here. Oh, here we are, learning this one. So there was one pattern where you go into the back loop, so the stitch of the circle stays out. But I thought it kind of just looks messy. I mean, I liked the idea of it. I didn't like how it worked out. Didn't do it that way. Temperature blanket, historic temperature blanket for one of my kids. No, I think this is like January or something. Not into it, not feeling it. And my edges, not even close. What is that? So anyway, that's, I don't know. Ugh. Oh, this is a good one. This is how to do Stripy V Poncho, but just to try your colors. Hope you can see. Because what I was doing is really starting it, like chaining the whole way and and then realizing my colors were ugly and I hated them. So this was actually for a baby blanket. I didn't make it, one of my students did. Well, I made this, but my student made the blanket. Oh, trying to do that scallopy stitch. Like the fan, is it fan something? Not into it, not what I wanted. And what colors, like, oh my gosh, horrible. See, it goes on, right? This thing is big. Okay, so here's a phone case cover. That's for like a little, like I think it's my i5 fits in there. Put a little coconut button on it. Don't need it. But it was for class, I think, just to show like a sample. Coffee mug, coffee cozies. You put your coffee mug inside. Oh, here is another example of that Stripy V Poncho or the baby blanket. Making it big before you know that you don't like the colors. Yuck. But good sample, I suppose. More granny squares, solid, trying to figure out those corners. Oh, that's a good one. I'm putting that. This goes with our wildflower pillow, but it's a hair tie. You can just like pop it. It has a little clip on the back. Separate, keep that separate. Oh, I don't even remember what this was. Oh my gosh. Some sort of join as you go thing. Definitely don't need that. Some of this I just have to throw out. If it does not go with a pattern, I got to throw it out. Oh, really bad hats. I like the pattern, but I think my head is bigger than it is. It's like this is my second one even. That's not good. Oh, here we go. One of my first ponchos, which I love the colors and everything, but I didn't do my ends properly. Like I just did what they say. It's like, oh, we just work over it. Fine, work over it. But then they poke out everywhere. So when you wear it, it like comes out. Like you get, your ends are like just literally coming out because you only sewed them in. Oh, look at all these. Look. You only sewed them in one direction. So they just, you stretch it once and they pop straight out. So that was a massive fail. And I probably spent like a week making this. I wasn't even fast back then. Look. Yeah. That's a fail. Okay, the rest is pretty much granny squares. Oh, another blankie. This is a good blanket. I'll show you one day too. I finished that one. Oh, look. This is from our video. So I did this specifically for the Join As You Go video. Got to keep that. It's so cute. Anyway, that's basically my big box of fails. There's still other bits in there, but it's all pretty ugly. Oh, that's so cute. Oh, it's a Christmas tree. See? But is it a Christmas tree? No, it's not. It's too poofy, but it looks really good when, I think it's Bella Coco. Love her tutorials, but I think it's her pattern, but the color didn't help, and the hook size probably, anyway, fail. Oh, vintage granny square changing color, fail. And ugly, what was I thinking? Anyway, enough of that. I'm actually going to toss a bunch of that out. Blech. It's too big. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you feel good about it. Hope it makes you feel good about you messing things up, or not getting your chainless foundation stitch pinched correctly. Don't worry about it. Look at this hot mess down there. Everybody, you're on your own journey, and it's gonna work out. You just have to persevere a little bit and keep trying, and don't stress out. Like, don't criticize your work. Never at a corner. Like, we know when you're coming around, never look at your work. Bad idea. Anyway. Kenya bits, I'm trying to think. So my leopard tortoises walked in the house yesterday. You're like, doo-doo. So my laundry room is in the bottom of the guest house, which is like just a little bit out the front door and to the left a bit. So I'm like, doo-doo-doo, go to the guest house, and then I come back into the house, and it's like, oh, there's like a 30 kilo leopard tortoise walked into the house. He's like, lowers himself onto the rug by the front door and kind of waits. It wasn't him, it was the girl, Louise. We have Marvin and Louise. Marvin is a boy and Louise is a girl. And the girl is like skittish. She's like 40 years old or something. Like they're not young, but she's just always, and we've had her forever, like 10, 12, 15 years, but she just doesn't like people no matter what. And then her boyfriend, he's so casual. He'll come and eat from your hand. He'll actually run at you if you have watermelon or like any sort of melon or mango. He will like literally run at you. And he'll put his leg up and like eat the rind of watermelon. Like, he's crazy. He's very outgoing, very personable. And his girlfriend is very like introverted and shy, and she hisses like, you're gonna get me. No, we're not. You're fine. Anyway, she was in the house yesterday. She spent the night in the house. Walked around, found herself a nice place in the dining room, hung out, and then the next morning walked out through the living room. So cute. I'll try to go find them, see if I can take a little video for you. They're really cute. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. What are your fail projects? Do you keep them in a box? Do you have them around the house? Or do you just like literally toss them out? I made a basket, and I just didn't feel it. I gave it to my staff. I was like, oh, take it, blah, blah, blah. And then realized I have a pattern, and I'm teaching the pattern, and I don't even have a sample to be like, see this? You're on this row. So now my rule is, if it goes with a pattern, don't throw it out. What are your rules? If something doesn't work out, do you just toss it? Or do you hoard it? Or do you store it? Maybe hoarding's a wrong word. Anyway, let me know in the comments box below. Have a super great weekend. Thanks so much for watching, and stay hooked. Where are you going to? You're really over here, dude. Hi. Hi, Marvin. I don't have any food for you. Should I go get you something? Do you need mango? Do you need mango, Marvin? Okay. I'll find you something. Okay, bye, Marvin. I'll find you something, dude. I'm filming. What do you need?
I printed it so hard.
I heard you.
I put cornflower instead of magic floor stick.
Yeah.
I was like, come see this blow gun. Aimed it at her.
Not in the house.
No, it was outside and I did it twice. I actually didn't realize it's like that. I found a dynamite stick outside. Can you believe this?
That is hilarious. Okay, let me finish filming,
Oh,
sweetie.
that's awesome.
That was awesome.